greetings, everyone. We're so excited to have you here again today as we dive into this behind the scenes of the Make More Content Holiday Accelerator. But today we've got something special. So, all week you've been seeing all over, wherever you're watching this on your timeline, you've seen that we have spoken to basically just behind the scenes of what it takes to creating content for the holiday. But then also, some of you might be like, you know what? It's October and we're already looking into the new year and what your content needs to look like. And earlier this week, I went through just talking about your customer journey, like that being part of the foundation of the information that you want to have ready. Because just take a breath and just imagine what your content could look like in 90 days, even 6 months. Once you get these foundational parts together, like understanding your customer, understanding what kind of content you should be putting out. Because I say this almost on every live. I always get the question of like, Liberty, what should I post? Or Liberty, what should my videos look like? And all of those are pieces to a larger puzzle, and that larger puzzle is just understanding what resonates with your customer. So I thought that as a way to put some of these pieces together, that I would bring someone on and we would go through like another entrepreneur, a business that is growing and making waves, and actually go through I want to preface this, a light content audit, because this is something that could take weeks, months in some ways, but this episode is specifically for business owners, small businesses, or if you are a small team inside of a larger organization and you're responsible for that content that goes out, because you could be time strapped and or just the mental strength and the mentally taxing. Content is something that for some it's super easy and they just churn content out. But if you as a business owner, you're focused on your business, this content is kind of like an aside, and you really should. That's the right thing. You should be focused on your business, getting customers, getting leads, customer service, customer experience, all of those areas. And content is acting as lead generation, brand reputation, messaging, all of those things. So it's definitely an important part of your marketing mix. So without further ado, I want to bring to the stage Tamara Lucas with My Panda so that we can really dive into at least one of your channels. Tamara, one of your channels. Tamara, welcome. So happy for you to be up early in the morning and joining us.
Thank you, Liberty. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm excited for this. Talk about free audit from the master of content. I love it.
Ooh, I love that title too. I love I love that title. So before we go much further, because I know also just time wise, it's going to be a quick light audit. If you could just, My Panda, tell us in a few minutes more about you, more about My Panda, and we'll dive in. We're going to do your Instagram, so we'll dive into your Instagram.
Okay, great. So my name is Tamara Lucas, and I'm the founder and CEO of My Panda, which is the personal assistant next door app. And so what we do is we act as a village of support for busy, ambitious, tends to be women like you and me that are up at 7 o'clock in the morning working so we can get our stuff going with our kids, and we're probably going to run out of the house and our sink is probably going to be full of dishes. So what we do is we have people from the local community, we call them our pandas, our personal assistants next door, who are vetted and background checked and trusted, who can come in and help us as essentially fractional personal assistants. So our pandas who come in and then clean up that kitchen for you and take care of the laundry that's in the dryer and take your dog for a quick walk while you're at work. So that's what we do. We step in to really support women and help them, get them the village of help that they so desperately need.
That is phenomenal. And My pandas are so, so needed, especially just the holidays are coming up, and
Yeah.
this is where we are pulled in so many different directions, not only as entrepreneurs, that part, but then the family commitments increase, the all the parties, all the holiday festivities and celebrations. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. Oh, you know what? One of the questions that I asked, so we had our pre-interview yesterday. One of the questions that I asked is just where you are. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to content marketing?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm a solopreneur and I have a very small team. So I was kind of explaining to you, it's not like my natural thing to do, and so I'm constantly just like, oh my God, it's been 3 days since I posted anything. What am I going to post today? It's like, I just am sort of flying by the seat of my pants all the time and just trying to get something up that's of value that looks okay. And so that's like one of the very biggest things that I really struggle with. Um, and, and the planning of it too is really difficult because yeah, I've so many other things I'm planning. I mean, not only am I running the entire business, but I'm a single mom with 2 kids, and it's just like it's just always things are just coming at me. So I'm just sort of taking care of things as quickly as I can, the best I can. So and
And
that
that makes
follows through to my Instagram as well, as everyone will see, because it's very vulnerable for me to sit here and have it analyzed because it's not great, but whatever. It's
so I will let you know that even though we're doing this live, that this is a safe space. So
okay.
what
Oh, I
these
know.
these tips and these what it's really going to even help you do is to possibly look at things from another vantage point, because just even just the benefits of doing a content audit, no matter how small and light, like if you're watching right now, you can do this once this episode once this episode finishes, where you're looking at the kinds of content that are performing well, looking at just going further than the comments, because you would be looking at your analytics in the back end. This is just very surface, very light, so that we can just get some quick wins as we go into it. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen. So we're gonna look at your Instagram, and at a quick look, like, so you already, here's some of the things I always like to start with, the things that I see that are working well. So there were some parts like this post right here, and interestingly enough, in the last 30 days, that so when you do an audit, because I'm like doing the audit and teaching at the same time. So when you do an audit, you want to do at least looking at the last 30 days, and or 90 days would be ideal. If you have the bandwidth, have the support, have the time, a good 6 months is great. But in this case, we're just looking at, like, say, the last 30 days. And I think that's pretty much like around here is where it drops off. So this thumbnail and just this look, not only, it's engaging because it's like, oh, what do you have to say, but we're here to help. Remember, your audience, that they are busy, so they don't need a lot of information. They're scrolling. You want to stop people to scroll, to click through on this. So I love this. I love that. So folks, you do want to go to my panda, and if we can drop a link to in the comments on the live, if we can drop that link to my panda's account, so people can actually see this in real time and see and follow. But what I love about this too is even these, as people scan content, it's like, oh, these check marks, what are you telling me here? So I'm looking at that, because you have to understand that your audience, sometimes they're visual, sometimes they are people who are like words. So having a way to communicate with both sides of the brains for people. But then also, what you're saying here was valuable. You started out with a story. I don't know if you know this, but you're a great storyteller. So your ability to be like, so imagine, and taking us down this narrative of like dreams come true, like my dream of organizing my home, that's possible with a panda. My dream of, I don't have to spend another 20 minutes out of my day to drive across town to do something because of my panda. So I think that that narrative works really well for you, and to dive into that. And again, interestingly enough, that this had the most views.
Mhm.
And I say that this is a light audit because I would go deeper to look at actually looking at your analytics to see watch time. Watch time is an important one because you're looking at how far into this video did people go? Because what that can help you do is if they only go, let's say, I don't recall how long that, let's say that was like a 20-second video. If they're only getting to like 4 seconds, you're going to want to see, what did I say in those 4 seconds? Because I want to build on whatever that messaging is to see if I can go longer. But anyhow, so that this post, love this. Also the next one, and interestingly enough, your next highest one here is also you storytelling. So there's something about your storytelling, which is probably you talking about the problem. And when you have a business, people are looking to that you're solving a need, a pain point. So that's resonating. So that's working for you there. So just again, just light audit wise from a visual part of things, you already know the aesthetic can be, and that's graphics. That's just getting someone, even if it's, getting someone to just work on those, get you a couple of templates that, when I have this kind of content, this is the kind of graphic that goes there. You do want to maintain that human touch. If it's too manicured, I personally do not, just from past experiences, don't think that your target audience, it won't look achievable because right now their world is, I just need to get stuff done. So those right there. And then also I'll wrap with this one, even though it wasn't necessarily say in your top 3 content wise, I love this because it shows you as the leader. It shows you in a great light as this is your business. You are in the trenches you are the person, because this is why My Panda was created, because you had this experience. So I love the thought leadership part of it. So in a deeper audit, we would say, hey, here's your content mix, and we want to see this percent of this type of messaging and that percent of that kind of messaging. I would definitely say a good 20%, 15, 20% of you showing up, because your audience, you want them to know, like, and trust you. So as you're out here building this business, that narrative is important as well, because they want to see you win, because they're busy moms, either in their 9 to 5, or if they're in the home, working in the home, that they're rooting for you. So just as a light way to do that. Some of the other things that I think that worked well for you here is, your links, so that people can get to you. I'm right now on a desktop version, but just making sure that if people instantly being able to book time, book a panda, like all the things that you talk to them about, make sure that's really easy for them to do. Because if they have to click, the more clicks, the less possibility you'll have to close that sale. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Any questions? Because I'm I know it's like a fire hose of information.
No, this is good. I'm just glad it's recorded so I can go back to it. So, awesome. Well, real quick. So the other metrics, so watch time, is there another couple of things that are really important? Because if it isn't a video, for example, is there anything else in particular that stands out immediately, or is that?
Yeah. So some of the things that are trending right now, especially because we're only doing one platform, this audit, you would want to audit all your channels. Or if, again, time strapped, what are the top performing, that was one of the questions I asked you yesterday. I said, where are your leads coming from? So this audit is in for businesses, because we're looking at generating revenue and getting more sales. So some of the other things you want to look at, like click through. So your links, like that link in your bio, in the back of Instagram, in the insights there, it will show you things like your audience or your demographics. It will show you shares. Shares is a big thing, because it's a commitment that people are making, like this is something, something of value. Going back to the trends that are right now on IG, you'll see, go look at some of the posts that you're even following. They will say, DM me for XYZ. So that could be metric that you could follow, because if you have a promotional code, so say one of your story times, then you're like, I have a special holiday discount. Type the word panda, or yeah, let's just use that because that's super easy. So type the word panda. Now you're tracking, so they've watched because you said that at the end. You know what I mean? So you've seen the watch time. Now they've taken action, because that's really what you want them to do. You mentioned yesterday that you want to bring people down further in the funnel. So the lead generation at the top, the consideration part of things, and I'm going to jump to that in a moment to talk through what kind of content will bring them further down the funnel. And then that last phase is they've decided, oh, I need a panda. So that's some of the ways that you can, build that relationship with your audience, because then you'll know those people who have like typed the words, those people who have DM'd you, they're taking action. And then you can take that data and then you can see, well, what's the kind of content that I did that and people actually took action on that. What was the messaging? What was the time of day? Those are, and going back to your question about the importance of consistency in putting out your content so that you can have accurate data. I'll say that again. Consistency of putting out your content so you can have accurate data. Because if you are all over the place and then you see, oh, this one went really well, but it was a piece of content that was at 6 a.m., which is one of the ideal times of posting on IG. It was at 6 a.m. And then some other one was at some other, offbeat time. And you can't even tell, like, what are the good times to post? What are the times that are good? And not just IG's recommendations, but for your specific audience. This is all about my panda.
Right.
So yeah. So going
that's
into
why we have to look at our own data, and we can't just have someone tell us
your own data.
What you do. Right.
That's why. And thank you. That is such a good. That's why I'm like, okay, you go ahead and do this. Someone can come in, look at your data for you, but it has to be your data. Like when I look at, just even my personal account, my audience, I know Tuesday at 7 p.m., anywhere between 3 and 7 p.m., if I post something, it's going to go crazy. So I know anything that I want people to take action on, or it's really valuable, it's going to be on a Tuesday or a Thursday. Like there's just those things, because I know. Because when you're creating your content, you want to make sure that you're building a relationship, you're understanding your audience, or not, you are just aimlessly putting stuff out there because the world is telling you create content. You need
that's
content.
pretty much what I do.
But that's okay. That's okay, because after today, and that's why we're doing this. It's like just light. So because I know that you need to go and light.
It's okay. No, I've got a few minutes.
Okay. So I'll go on to say, okay, there's one more thing that I will share, just even in those 3 pieces of like your top and I will say it's only the top viewed, because you would want to go and see, because you could have a low viewed video with a ton of content. A ton of comments. I will take engagement over views any day, because those people took the time to connect. And we can scroll all day, but when people stop to do that, that's a different thing. So comments, saves. I do know Instagram, again, they've just recently changed their algorithm. Shares is a big thing. So I would say for those pieces, the call to action. Like, it seems like such an easy thing, but don't just like, hey, thanks. And you told this great story. You told them, hey, this dream can come true for you. And then it ends. And it's like, no. You just got one more step. Tell them that this dream could come true. Text blah, blah, blah. Right. Text blah, blah, blah. So we can send a panda. So we could do like, this is where your sales part of things comes in for your, for my panda. And, so that call to action is everything. You don't have to have that in every post, because you don't want to sound, you don't want to sell in every post, but there could be a call to action of like, share this with a friend. That's nice and easy. So then you're getting people, because you're building brand ambassadors for you as well, as brand ambassadors and sales agents as well, in that. So now I want to get to the recommendations for some of the things that I think could work really well for you. So I already said you're a great storyteller. Um, you kind of already started this to a degree, like a day in the life, but more so a day in the life of my panda. Like, so your
Mhm.
pandas, so that people, if there is the people who own the purse strings in the house, they're women. We
Yes.
are researchers. We
Yes.
are reviewing. We are asking our friends, well, did you use them? Well, what was it like? So, again, coming down the bottom part of your funnel, making sure that you have those, you want to answer those questions, answer that in your content. So, if you have a couple of pandas that could just even record themselves going somewhere, doing something, delivering a package, and record that content or those images, and that's now you telling the story of what a panda actually does, because right now
Mhm.
on your Instagram we're just seeing you tell us about the pandas. Let us see the pandas, let's see them in action, let
Mhm.
them be a part of your overall storytelling and execution. That dream that you painted with us in those couple of videos, now let's see the dream in action. So seeing that kind of content. Next, I would say testimonials. I don't know that, like, just at a quick look. And sorry, let me go back to this super where
I have so many testimonials too. I just need to like put them up. So in that sort of situation, like just having like the words of a testimonial, um, maybe at the beginning, and then maybe a video of somebody saying something,
right.
or me reading testimonials.
Yeah. Yeah, just having them, I would say, company. This is a great opportunity. So walking away from this audit and then going, hey, we know we need to do some testimonials. Let's try different content formats. So let's try the visual of just like some kind of quote post with a testimonial. Let's try a reel that is, and I'm concepting now on the fly, but let's try a reel where we see a my panda in the, on a drive or somewhere doing what doing a panda task, and then the testimonial over it. So if the visual is that we see a panda
Mhm.
packing boxes, the testimonial should be, oh my goodness, my panda saved the day, I got my boxes out in time. So if you've got testimonials that you, and it doesn't always have to be, so I just don't want you to like get stuck on
Right.
that it needs to match it. But the idea is testimonial, and you see your messaging is showing the panda in action. So though I would test them right now. You're at the foundation, so I'm more concerned with your consistency than the
Mhm.
perfection.
Mhm.
Ah,
Well, and I think that
consistency.
that gets in the way of consistency, right? And this is my
Oh,
message to everybody about everything. Like, don't put off doing things because you want it to be perfect, right?
right.
And this is a big way. This is what I do with this, right? I want to make sure it's perfect. And then when I'm like, okay, I just need to get something up, then it's far from perfect because I haven't taken the time to like, you know, create it, to think about it, and to
Yeah.
take time to analyze the data and decide what actually works. So.
And I mean that makes perfect sense. And that's why. So again, thank you for joining today so that we could like talk about this, so that people are hearing these things. So at a quick glance, there definitely opportunity for you to for some of those testimonials to pop up. Like, so say for example, and I know, congrats again on being a finalist for the Startup Atlanta Awards, but like this, let's just take this as, if this was a testimonial, see how it just, stands out in the mix of your content. So panda, panda, panda story, testimonial, panda, 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 DIY. I'm going to share the other two recommendations I have for you. But because people are living their busy lives and scrolling. So you want to make it easy for them to get your messaging as they scroll, which is why I shared, yeah, so that's why I said, yeah, just throw a testimonial in the mix so that they can see that your team in action. And so we've got the storytelling part, and that's you. The day in the life before and after. Like we love a
Mm,
before and after.
mhm.
What was that experience look like? So if your panda had organized something, and I don't want to say too many things because you're the subject matter expert in the tasks that pandas can do. But if there's a way to show the transformation, because again, as the busy mom or the busy entrepreneur, just the busy professional, we want to see the end result. So
Mhm.
thinking of ways that you can show the end result is going to, that's the bottom of your funnel. Because
Yeah,
if it resonates with me that you were able to organize my studio, you were able to, go off and send mail, and then now I didn't miss my deadline for XYZ. Those are the things, that's what, I feel
right,
better. that
right.
made it that made it all worth it. So, and the so yeah, so those are the three things that I think, just like off the bat, is if you can look at your testimonials, you have them, so that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And thank you, that was a great point. You already have this information,
Mhm.
so it is, go back and do your audit looking in the back end. And if you're watching, thank you so much. This is a live content audit with Tamara Lucas with My Panda, and you can do this too. Just go ahead, look at the last 30 days of your content, pick a platform. Again, this could something that could take a matter of minutes, or it could take some weeks and months. But this episode is specifically for busy entrepreneurs and or small teams that don't have the mental bandwidth or the time to do this. And you still need to get a quick win so that you can move forward with your, moving forward with your content. So how was that, Tamara? What do you think? Does this should I wait till you watch it again?
I need to absorb a little. No, no, this is, but it's great. It's I, you know, using the templates, which I actually have some of the templates made. Again, I have so
Awesome.
much of this. It's just a matter of like implementing it, right? Just even like a frame around things, which I have some of the frames already made. I just need
Right.
to pop it into that, so that makes total sense. The testimonials, which I know, but like just the ideas about, and I think it's also the concept of having the image is so important, especially with Instagram, right? Because everyone does scroll through it. So it's like you can have as much as you want in the words in the post, but the image is like what captures people's attention.
Yes, the
Which I think
thumbnail.
is really important to keep in mind, especially with
It's
Instagram.
it's very important, but again, for you, I would say is, and just to address some of those concerns that you just had there, is to pick a day. Let's start with 30 minutes. If it's a Sunday, if it's a Wednesday, just pick 30 minutes and get one thing done. And one
Mhm.
thing could be, okay, here's my, the graphics, and I'm just going to update graphics.
Yeah.
And then the next time you are just gonna, these are the testimonials that are ready to, just make sure they're ready to go. The next time I'm going to just work on my captions. And if you give yourself, say, some breathing room to not have to like force yourself to post for the next 2 weeks or so, and just get yourself organized. If
Mhm.
you do that you'll give yourself the breathing room to get it the way that you want. Again, it's just consistency. So if you can get
Yep.
into that rhythm. So I always give homework. Do not worry about posting for like the next week or two.
Okay.
Don't.
Get things
let's
organized.
let's get you organized first. And then once we get you organized, then you're grabbing your content from this folder, or you have them in draft so that or you have them scheduled, like those things. I want to create the same way that the My Pandas do for others. I want to create breathing room for you so that you can be consistent. And that's why it's more so about having yourself be organized, having the plan, and then being able to execute consistently, because then that's going to build a rhythm, because then you got more business coming in, then you can hire someone, you can have a panda doing this for you. That's where we want to get you.
That's awesome. That's the
Yeah.
dream. Perfect.
So awesome.
Thank you,
Any
Liberty.
thank you, Tamara. And again, so like where can people find you?
Yeah, so the best and easiest way is to go to our website, which is mypandaapp.com. It is 2 A's and 2 P's. That will confuse you when you're putting it in there. And that's where you can learn more about us. Is where you can download the app directly. We are only servicing Metro Atlanta right now, so I know a lot of your audience is around everywhere, but we are looking to expand as well. So if you download the app, we will know that you're interested, and so we'll get you there. So that's what I recommend. And you can email me also at tamara@mypandaapp.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tamara. And I will follow up with you because now we're invested. We are invested. We are invested in my panda's content here, the Make Work Content Holiday Accelerator. So I know you're mom mode. So have a fantastic day, and we'll check in with you soon.
Okay, thanks so much.
Alrighty, folks, you saw it there. That was a live and a light audit. It probably would have gone a little bit faster had I not. I was trying to give you the play-by-play as we're just breaking down her content and how to be efficient and knowing. And I love, Tamara, thank you so much for being here, because you basically shared just the overwhelm, the busyness. Like, that is, you're not the only one. That is all entrepreneurs, especially if you are a solo founder or a small business. So as we wrap up, and I want to share too, if you are looking for just a checklist to help you to do a light, again, this is a light audit because I want you to get a quick win. Imagine just feeling like, okay, now I know what kind of content is working, what's not, what's helping to drive leads for me. That's going to give you the energy basically to say, okay, I can stay with this, because consistency is what's going to get you on the other side. And here's some questions that you should think about when it comes to your content. So you want to ask yourself, like, where does your audience live, work, and play? And that information is going to help you to really figure out, okay, where do we really need to show up? Because you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be in the places where your audience will find you. And then what content is, and that will also determine what channels you'll look at, because if you are spending your time on Instagram, but the audience that you serve, that they're spending their time on LinkedIn, or they're spending their time, they're big on searching or on Reddit or some of these other platforms or communities, knowing that information will help you to be able to spend your time wisely when you are creating your content. What's performing well? You saw that with the live audit. We looked at, while we only looked at the views, you can go so much deeper, and that data will help you to understand it'll help to inform your decisions. And most importantly, what resources do you have to make these changes? Because it's great to have all of that information, but if from a resource perspective that you don't have the manpower or the person power and the bandwidth, then you maybe just focus on one channel, or you focus on one type of content. Whatever can get you to consistency faster, that's where you want to be and what you want to do. So type the word audit if you are looking for just a quick checklist. Put that in the comments below if you're looking for a quick checklist that will help you to just get started. This is the first step, because you do not want to be creating content in a vacuum, like you're thinking, like vanity. That's what I like the vanity content, because you think it works. No, it needs to be what your audience thinks, your audience telling you what they want, what they need. And so there it is. I am Liberty White. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Make More Content Holiday Accelerator. Oh, and of course, join us inside the Accelerator. We go much deeper into all of this. So if this was just a few minutes and this was a light audit, just imagine the information and the support that you'll get inside the Accelerator. So thank you so much for joining, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.